إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الحمد لله نستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله المبعوث بين يدي الساعة داعيا من الله بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعه ووالاه أما بعد فيا عباد الله أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله وحثكم على طاعة الله وطاعة رسوله لعلكم ترحمون قال الله تعالى في كتابه الكريم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وأطيعوا الله الرسول لعلكم ترحمون. My dear brothers, first of all, we praise and thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all his blessings. And we also invoke peace and blessing upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu upon his family, his companions, and all those who follow him doing good deed till the day of judgment. Allah SWT said in the Quran to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Qul innani hadani Rabbi ila siratin mustaqim, dinan qiyama millata Ibrahim hanifa, wa ma kana minal musyrikin." Syekh Muhammad, indeed, my Lord has guided me to a straight path, the true religion, the religion of the faith of Ibrahim, who is always monotheist, and he was not among those who associate partners with Allah SWT, or he is not of those who are idolaters. So in this ayat, Allah SWT commanded his Rasul or Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam to declare and confirm that he was the true prophet and true messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because he was guided by Allah himself to the straight path, to the right path, to the true path. In other words, it is not only by his effort, by the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah guided him to a straight path, namely the true religion, the faith of Ibrahim, who was always monotheist, and he was not among the mushrikeen or the polytheists. I repeat again, so the Ibrahim who is always, monotheist, or believing in one God alone, and he was not among the polytheists or the idolaters. Meaning that his advent or coming is to guide people to the same path, to the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is why we're in this life, we can differentiate between a da'wah ila Allah wa da'wah ila shakhs or shakhsiyah. The da'wah calling people toward Allah, to the path of Allah, or da'wah calling people toward oneself. We know there are always many groups in Islam. Some of them, they always keep calling people toward Allah, but some of them toward themselves or their organization. That is why the Muslims are always divided. Or the true religion is the religion that calls people toward Allah only. In the following ayat, Allah SWT said again to the Prophet Muhammad SAW, Qul inna salati wa nusuki wa mahyaya wa mamati lillahi rabbil alamin. La sharika lahu wa bidhalika umirtu wa ana awwalul muslimin. Say, Muhammad, indeed my salat and my sacrifice, my life and my death are for the sake of Allah, the Lord of the worlds. He has no partner. And this is what I have been commanded. And I am one, and I am the first to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or the first to be Muslims. So the Prophet himself was commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to perform or to do things in this life only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything. From the salah, the 5 daily prayers. And then nusuk. Nusuk means sacrifice, and it means also act of worship or rituals. So say, Muhammad, indeed my salat and my sacrifice, or my ritual, my life and my death are only for the sake of Allah, Lord of the world. So in other words, in this life, a Muslim has to try his best to do everything only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Islam, as a way of life, deals with all aspects of human life, from politics to economy to social life, and dealing with people. But even when we perform our obligation like salah, the 5 days salah, we do it for the sake of Allah. Why? Because there are people who do the ibadah only to be seen and praised by men. As Allah Kasi in Surah An-Nisa, Innal munafiqina yukhadi'una Allah wa huwa khadi'uhum. Wa idha qamu ila salati qamu kusala yura'una an-nasa wa la yadhkuruna Allah illa qalila. Indeed, the hypocrite deceive Allah, while Allah deceived them. When they stand for prayer or for salah, they stand it with laziness or reluctantly to be seen by men. And they remember Allah but little. But they don't remember Allah but a little. So there are people who are praying to do good deed, as we can see by in the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what he is doing is not even counted, let alone be rewarded. Why? Because in the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so he did that ibadah wanted to be seen and praised by men. So that is why what we have to do in this life, to do everything for the sake of Allah, even to love for the sake of Allah, to hate for the sake of Allah, to be happy for the sake of Allah, to be angry for the sake of Allah, not for personal reason. As far as the personal reason of the personal, self are concerned, we have to always be tolerant, we have always to be forgiving and to be kind to people. But we come to the Iman, we have to do everything, even to love, to hate for the sake of Allah, not for anything else. So our salah for Allah, wa nusuki, and my sacrifice or my rituals, okay, also for the sake of Allah. Meaning purely for the sake of Allah. And there were mahyaya, in my life, wa mamati, and my death, also for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? Because the ibadah itself is the ultimate purpose of life. As Allah said, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I have not created jinns and men but to serve me, to worship me. So that is the ultimate purpose of life. That is everything we are doing. Because our life, our death, for the sake of Allah. Not for anything or anyone else. So he is Allah Rabbil Alameen, the Lord of the worlds, the Lord of all creatures of creation. La sharika lah, Allah who has no partner. Because Allah doesn't need anybody to be his partner or to help him. Because everything created by him depend on him for their survival. وَبِذَلِكَ أُمِرْتُ, and did what I have been commanded. وَأَنَا أَوَّلُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ, and I am the first Muslim. I am the first to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded the Prophet Muhammad to say. The hands, in this life we do things for the sake of human beings, we always have problems. Why? Because human beings will make a comment no matter what we do. You do good, they make a comment. You do bad, they make more comments. Especially this time, the people have been spoiled and pampered by modern technology. They use the technology to fight with each other, to criticize each other, to insult each other. Without meeting each other, they become enemies. They become only through their fingertips. Like in social media, for example, with the WhatsApp, whatever, Instagram. So people fight. I have seen people, they spend day and night only chatting and fighting. Sometimes I wonder when they sleep, because I saw like 10 people all the time, 10%, never stop, non-stop. Then how the people spend their life? Then before I conclude, Luqman al-Hakim, whose story is told in the Quran, once he wanted to teach his son about the world or what the people, that the people will comment no matter what you do. So, first of all, father and son rode a donkey. Both of them rode a donkey. And then people comment, look, this man is crazy. Why the two of them rode on one donkey? To give more burden to the poor animal. Okay, and then he said to his son, okay, son, no, you get down. And then they keep, riding and one's walking. And then the people comment against, look, these people are crazy. Or this man crazy, he himself is riding, but he let his son walk. And then after that, say, oh, son, no, get on. So I get off. So the son start riding. And passed by people comment again, look, this young boy has no consideration, let his father walk on foot, and he is riding on donkey. Son, have you heard? No, get off. So now both of us walk. So they pull the donkey and they start walking. And past the people comment again, look, these people crazy, they have a mount, they have transport, but they walk on foot. And then Salman said to his son, look, you see, this is what people in this world. No matter what you do, they always make a comment, always wrong. So that you have to learn, this is the world. That is why whatever thing we do for the sake of Allah. But many people, they do for the sake of their own desire or their own personal interest. They will fight with anybody to achieve what they want at whatever cost. That is why the Prophet himself was commanded by Allah that to say that everything we do, whether it's ibadah or life and death, only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the true religion. Because some people, or they don't go to certain mosque or musalla, or because they so and so is running that mosque. So they mean they go to the mosque for the sake of person. Who cares? Because you do for the sake of Allah, you can pray anyway. Allah will not question you about what the people are doing or what the people do. Allah will question you about what you do. And why? For the sake of a person, or because of a person, or because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even people, they rather trust in the kuffar to settle their problem. but they claim to be Muslim. Why not settle amicably among yourself as Muslim, not involve the kuffar to settle their problem? This is life. That is why we have to follow what Allah commanded His Prophet, that we do everything, whether it is ibadah or this life and death, is for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Otherwise, we will fail in this life and the life to come. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Qur'an al-azim wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bima fihi min al-ayat wa dhikril hakim. Taqabbal minni wa minkum tilawatahu innahu samiun alim. Aqulu qawli hadha astaghfirullah al-azim li wa lakum wa li sa'iril muslimin wal muslimat wastaghfiruh innahu huwal ghafurur rahim. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ملك الحق المبين. أشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صادق الوعد الأمين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعه بإحسان يوم الدين. أما بعد فيا عباد الله اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال تعالى إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وسلم تسليما كثيرا. اللهم ارض عن الخلفاء الراشدين المهتدين سادة أبي بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي وعن سائر الصحابة أجمعين. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم حبب إلينا الإيمان وزينه بقلوبنا وكره لنا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان واجعلنا من الراشدين. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا وأخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا عن القوم الكافرين. اللهم لا تسلط علينا بذنوبنا من لا يخافك ولا يرحمنا. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأهلك الكفرة المشركين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون.